Yes? Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps, I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea.
Damage. Yeah, damage.
Either way, good on you. You were saying... I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject. If you ask me, it's high time for you to set aside these frivolous side tasks and focus 100% of your energies on the case before. Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité? You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for? But isn't that your job? Now I understand. Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility? Simple. Because moral intern types love. In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella. You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villeudran. The gentleman you met in the yacht. If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first, now, was there anything else?
Our tenant, the police, nay, I haven't seen any. This is my little cinder block town.
She's being evasive.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other. Ah, I should have known. This is yet another union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here. There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too. An old mirror hangs on the wall. As you look at the floorboards, in this corner, the edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched. Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark. Nothing particular catches your eye. Something bad. Someone's night thoughts. A last resort. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like a small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet. A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit the floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the...
Our tenant, the policeman. Damn that girl.
But you didn't put it there, did you?
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl, as I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right there. Please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Yes,
She probably...
Yes. That is a down...
I cleaned it, like I always do. No,
The truth, sire.
she's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I...
Did she talk to you much during her last day?
No, she was mostly silent this time. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cross a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure.
I do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment. He looks at...
No, she's a fighter.
She really believes that.
Not that I know of, though she was into nice music. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Are you sure you would rather stay here? Get a nice cozy fire good.
The Feld Electric Mural. You feel like you should go look at it again.
Just us. This is pretty much in...
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Over there, you can find more of an old military hospital, and it's after the war, it was now the area is crisp. The goodwill ran out. The staff left, and the place was shut down. Here, for you, no officer. The only money we have here is some...
She nods, rinsing.
One thing, officer. If you do find her, she's a good girl.
That's one brutal motor carriage. If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it,
paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We...
Yeah, tribal shit.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality.
Skulls. Now, was it a good idea on the lieutenant's part to get into this? Don't even answer that. Just leave.
I can tell you who we're not. Cop. We're not snitches, flow bears.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and...
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs. These Skull people are more than an authority. They're...
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
The question was rhetorical. The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Besmetine, or the best...
The nastiest bunch of psychos.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual. I tested...
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock. Or you can find them loitering around.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom light's a wretched aggressor.
Murder?
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly...
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean...
These punks don't know any...
Hey! Stop right there!
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself. However, there is no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example...
What if it's art? Or
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in it. The lieutenant raises an eyebrow, but does not comment.
oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist...
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
For all their nihilism, the lieutenant on your left is unusually...
Old man, it doesn't matter. You'll be long gone before his greatness is recognized. Yep, old as fuck.
Yeah, man. It's like at death's door. No wonder you know nothing about the future. You won't be there.
Judging by that, Van Eyck is some sort of musician.
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious.
Ah, you'll see for sure once we're in.
Throw him off his game.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're only saying practice things for now, so...
This is definitely something the Skulls would say. But we're not trying to encroach on the Skulls' branding anyway. On the contrary.
Hey, we can be just as hard. Like, pay...
Or a grave on top of a...
These kids have the vocabulary, but might be missing a brain. Wouldn't a grave on top of a grave be just a big hole? What's hard about holes?
What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessary. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, what I mean by this is, we are...
Though he seemed lacking in vocabulary, it seems that the young man has expertise in at least one field.
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that feels...
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket.
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain. You get more fish in a shorter time. And for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, is it a coincidence that here we have two badass jackets?
Yes? What is? What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two. Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or... you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary.
Why?
If you don't have to answer, then we don't have to give you our jackets. And what kind of business is...
The lieutenant notices your agitation and opens.
Okay, we get it. You look like total shit.
You didn't say that. The lieutenant looks down at his bomber jacket and shrugs, obviously content with his uniform.
Fine. Fuck it. Here. Take it then.
It's true. He simply can't. Wow. I did not see that coming.
Fuck that. You're not getting mine. My dad's a lawyer in
No, he won't.
The lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation.
No. He's like a... You know what, cop? Fuck you.
Fuck him. We don't need his rich dad jacket anyway.
I'm not wearing that jacket. I already am expressing my individuality. The need will not arise.
Look at this cute shit. How can we become skulls if you go...
Fuck. I'm sorry, man. I just don't like confrontations, that's all.
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person. Hi, gendarme. Another... Hello, hello. So what brings you here? Oh, a committee. And if I may ask, gendarme, what is this...
He's all bemused skepticism. He doesn't actually care what you want with his friend.
God, of course it is. My friend is always trying to... as though I don't have enough going on. In any case, I would love to help. But the thing is, I don't know where. He might have mentioned something about making a tour of some historical sites up the coast. In an unofficial capacity, of course. Not a clue. I'm not his agenda keeper, I guess you will. You did? And how did you like him? Ah, shoot. Why not? Friends, I told you. Sunday friends. That he won't be there when times get tough, I guess. It is. On Sundays. He has keys. And he likes the view. To the sea, I mean. A visitor from the first world. He's not like you and me, gendarme. To his opportunities in Occident. Sur la clé. Still. Or is it just money? I don't know. What about me? Bye-bye, gendarme.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Yes, miss. I hope all right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Yeah? I have no idea, officer. All right. Okay.
She nods, silently. Then, we are still wide awake and staring into an argument. Who is this personhood picking these seditious options? Stop staring at her eyes and say something. It looks like this one's not waking up. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight. You kick it, gung-ho style. Entering the
All right.
Let's not.
heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height. This cheap-looking padlock it'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, nothing happens. Oh,
I don't think... Do you think our suspect is hiding inside?
The lieutenant nods. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue...
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior. For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. The carving on the door is block-like and the surface is smooth from the padlock pass. Should you want to get through, it might be...
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreat. Yes, the pulsing...
There's something on the sea ice there. A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens.
Oh, hello there. Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you.
So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look man, fuck the hat.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to...
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. I was concentrating. My whole family swears and it rubbed off on me. A cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her.
Why? Okay, it's Berger.
A very common. You have little reason to doubt that's a real name. But
No,
Just no.
it's pretty desolate here. I own this. It's a portable recording device. It's actually just one wire. A contact mic records sounds from inside things.
your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No, you're welcome.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
An entire litany spews forth.
Yes? The mic? I don't exactly know. Same place I got the recorder from. The Palaceum. Oh man. You haven't been to the Palaceum? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer. Oh yeah. Guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck.
Hey, didn't Piss Faggot and Fuck the World mention Van Eyck too?
A skull thing? Mad.
No, you don't. She's mistaken you for an old person.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound. The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making... Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synth...
Take this, you're called.
No man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that.
It's okay.
Thanks. That? The boys think it could be a place. Like, yeah,
And why is that?
they got too much stuff, music stuff mostly. That stuff is more expensive than I. Go ahead. Well, it's just questioning, right?
Fast and clean, a good one. Can't quite say it's a lie, but it feels like one. She's better at lying.
Once or twice, yeah. Rich people. Rich people are east of the river. Aren't they? I thought they were as vachalaire as any of us, just way richer. Maybe you're right. Most of them do speak freely, the usual. You know, drinking, getting into fights, the ugly stuff that...
Interesting term. Time to glean some knowledge.
Is this a rhetorical question?
Faubourg, not in Faubourg, is a massive banlieue south of Jamrock Quarter. It is the largest ghetto in Revachol, possibly the world.
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know, get my party on.
She nods very cautiously.
Okay.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you.
It's safe to assume
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead.
I'm actually not, he thinks.
I'm sure you will feel right at home.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips.
Hello, I'm Andre.
There is definitely something futuristic about imbecilic. Yes, his grip is strong, sweaty, and warm.
This is my posse.
The young man with earrings.
And Egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some shit. You see, we've been all over Jamrock. Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And place is a shit. I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this, which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiast.
An attempt to pander to your perceived.
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a dopheads, burnouts. Well, I'm sad to say that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put more. Strike sad! And sadder yet because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
They're spooky. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, they're spooky. Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad sign. Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Get all right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took it.
Yes, I asked Noid to install a measure against more. I had to do it in an hurry. Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. All right.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. You think you can blam straight in the eye, straight in a stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrollably.
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. I really am sorry, man. Just take this.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
The key?
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
We were talking about the padlock, I think. Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. As always,
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the...
Let's go.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark inner in the heart of the... In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across. This is Her Innocence Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flow. Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you, as if under a microscope. The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. She acknowledges the passing of someone who is still alive. As that great and desperate thought passes through your mind, your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden right. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, unknown. A motor carriage, a gun. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then along the left side, after life, death. After death, life again. After
Death, life again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence Dolores Day. The innocence of no amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still. And the highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit. More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt, an innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, queen draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? The past is a silo of sadness, fermenting. No, you must know. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time. It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in wow indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt. As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even far away Supramuindi. Altogether, 21 of the 40 in a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland. The name of the city means evening comes. She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white. One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched this inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your terrifying. It's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier, but little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? Okay. This church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. The old woman in the village was right. This must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find the instigator here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of...
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not...
Hey, her Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember? You have the headless Fallen Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. Don't be so pessimistic. This isn't funny. You have a bad feeling about this one. No, it would have been beautiful. Really tiny. Whatever this was, it feels like you made the right choice. A machine stands in the corner. What?
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on. We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Fell mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer. The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same tech, you see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see behind the hatch sits a cube, another filament. The speaker comes to life.
Good morning.
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the person? Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Received. Votre accident. Is there anything else? I have 2 machines ready.
Saint-Brune, that's the church. And
Anything else I can help you with? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard is the silence in this part of the church. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, and then it's gone. It seems the sound here is detached from its source. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely. You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
can you hear anything? I wonder why the...
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing, on its premises. He doesn't seem entirely The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear. Just darkness without end. There's nothing. You're dizzy and
Officer, what are you looking at?
filled with vague shapes. You see something hanging from the... Maybe it's possible to... Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable...
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesk and a district in Jamrock. There's a sizable contingent of...
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't... Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wreaking on you.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. This is the church of the Mother of Silence. You are...
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. It is not an act, my liege. Saving perchance he hath deceived his very
Up there, Holmes. I am. At least in Aboyadero? No, Holmes. I don't go in for that kind. Haven't you ever met a Mex before? Cabron. Surprising number of us around ravished. Not sure I'm contributing to the economy. Glad you're feeling more comfortable. First-timers are always nervous. Oh man, I would love to see that statue. I'm sure I'd be trespassing. I done my share of illegal shit. Used to be in the gang. Nah, ese. It's not like...
Do you remember your name?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information.
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much. Your place amongst your fellas. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. Don't think I met one yet, Holmes. This is a special place. There's a I circled it. Nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink. I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skin. No. There's a new god in town. And she is a cavity in the dark beyond. I will be incinerated, but not.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or...
It's not like that at all, man.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I'm a seraph, Holmes. I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you think.
Marietti is a mesque style of music and dance, commonly seen at all manner of festivities.
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here. Been spending a lot of time here ever since.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadow.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. Might even be nice to have some company. Other spooker?
Oh. The Aita is Grandma?
No. I just call her Viejita because of her clothes.
Wait.
Did it ever seem to you like she was hiding?
You mean like a few? No, man. Why?
I see. And where is she now?
I told you, Holmes. I don't know. You just have to wait until she...
Or search through her radio computer.
Too many times, essay.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita. Police raid.
Did you witness it?
Not really.
It looks like he truly did.
I think we're done here, essay.
That was, however, I'm still not sure.
The machine's keyboard is behind the hatch. Another filament, the speaker.
Good morning, Fortress accident on Saint-Brune. This is the good. Please, good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the Fortress accident, is there anything else I can do for you today? Goodbye.
The machine's keyboard. The printer prints out a long text document. The first entry made. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up. The lieutenant leans closer.
4th of February. That's over a month. Our case? No, I don't think so.
6th of February, 51. Had a little 7th of February, 51.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some artists, yet again. Harassed, but at least the artist. I just have to find out what caused that data loss. And
her friends? Colleagues? Seems like something to do with radio computers. Something about the big update.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now.
25th of February, 51.
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings
The Pillar of Silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she
The lieutenant doesn't answer. March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to...
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. March 51. Your reading is interrupted by the strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
You won't find any answers from here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks now.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
What is it? I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, and if you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can...
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She...
No. Yes. And... No. You're right. I'm not. What? No.
She has not seen her, sire.
I brought them here. These are... I used the AR-1 as my RAIN prefix. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. On the front. The unified front of radio waves. Lies, it's all around us. That...
Like love.
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is... but it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it anyway. You should do some research before you decide to buy anything. I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien.
Could you just... shh for a moment?
It's not just rudeness. It really is hard to...
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used... No, I don't. Because I needed something good for my investigation and RAIN Civic is... Besides, owning a RAIN Prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal.
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually... Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIN's. Great. You really like those questions, don't you? No, I'm not. It's just me and the... I'm looking for the location of a...
Wait. She's looking for a disruption in the... The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me here. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, what do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have?
Easy. You measure it by the world around it.
I don't know. Are we? That's exactly. Very true. That's what I've been aiming for. That's why I have those basins. I've tried...
Hydrotransducers. So that's what the...
But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower.
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you require.
The Pillar of Silence?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical. I know. No, I don't. Great. Thanks. The swallow, you mean? What about... Because it's just trial and error. And I don't have a... Great. Thanks. What? I hate...
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired. This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another...
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
Hi, officer. Anything I can help you with?
You've graduated.
Men with authority. So what brings you here, Lawbringer? The name is Lillian. People call me... Let's see. Who are you looking for? Okay. When did this... Oh. I've been out on this... Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Oh? Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Sure is. The Sun, I call her. Aye?
No, ma'am. We have no quarrel.
Good. It would have been bad news.
There's a moment's silence.
Go right ahead. You're back.
Hey, tequila.
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you called something.
That's harsh. I'm like 3 or maybe 4 years into mine. Wait, no. Things aren't going super well for...
It did doom spiral, huh? This...
Can't really remember seeing any women.
He really has no idea who this Ruby is.
You too, Tequila.
Good to see you, friend.
Does he actually know you?
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. See, friend? It's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business vent. You know what's crazy, actually?
He's finding it difficult.
What?
Keep him talking.
Oh, yes. The spirits. In the civilized world.
The noxious odor emanates.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't have her!
You're not going to get anything.
Don't!
Hello, mister. Luby. My mum tells me I'm a big girl, but she doesn't know that.
Kids.
Yes, I am. Little, that's nice. My mum is bye.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning for...
Then we're definitely do. This one doesn't say.
Lily's our mum.
Hello again. No, I'm afraid I can't help.
So you haven't...
No, I'm sorry.
He's telling the truth. He hasn't seen anyone. This trap's nothing but locusts in this trap.
Empty as all of them. One more of...
The lieutenant, strict. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall.
Correct. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution.
Unable to piece together, the scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant smiling mouth, smiling its deadly smile. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the crack, unable to piece together. The scattering of bullet holes looks like one giant. As you approach,
Ah, super. What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast? My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, the Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol, it acts as a sort of clearinghouse.
yes, this is just
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not.
what? He's speaking figuratively.
Précisément. Officially, I am. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning
In other words, the committee only knows what it wants to know.
But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. Officer, you mean to say that you haven't noticed the giant coalition
You follow the man's gaze out toward the west. There it looks to your eye like not just any fish. It moves like something.
Fascinating. I always thought it was more like a dragonfly. You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is... and listening. It has the most... I find it a great comfort to know there are benefits...
The Bristol Moon Conventions are a series of international agreements governing the treatment of military personnel and civilians in theaters of war.
This is quite the problem. But in that case, you would require a... I suppose there might be some way to... Unfortunately not. No. I don't have the pleasure.
Sounds like something that programmer...
Let me just say that I have complete... Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans. And then, well, I had some extra time on my... Yes. There's nothing like a stroll along the coast to lift... Ah? Is that what... Ah bon? Always my pleasure.
The 15th Indo tribe. Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Forberg and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under... This is the last of... The trap feels light. No locust. No phasmid either. But still.
Well, the bait worked on some...
The netting is a little untidy. Messier than the others.
Okay. But after that we get back to our own assignments.
A cold gust of air